I'm going to be reading out of the book of 2nd ESDRAS, chapter 2, the middle portion of chapter 5, and chapter 6, so that we can get it very understood that Yahuwah has a chosen people, and it's been stated over and over, even in the Bible. So let's read here. Thus saith the Lord, I brought this people out of bondage, out of slavery, and I gave them my commandments by my servants the prophets, whom they did not hear, but despised my counsels. Now we're going to see who the real sinners are too. You despise the Most High's counsels, like his laws, his statutes, his commandments, then you know where you're going. Okay, there's no getting around it. Okay, you call me a sinner, though. I keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. I don't break them. But, you know, people that got these tattoos, right? Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. Break that commandment, getting them tattoos, right? But people say they believe in the Most High. Are you going to get those tattoos removed now that you know that you transgressed that law? Nope. And you're going to perish for it. So keep calling me what you want to call me. I'm going to keep calling people out by the word. Whom they did not hear, but despise my counsels. The mother that bare them saith unto them, Go your way, ye children, for I'm a widow and forsaken. I brought you up with gladness, but with sorrow and heaviness have I lost you. For you have sinned, you have broken all the commandments before the Most High, Yahuwah, and done that thing that is evil before him. You better start finding out what's evil before the Most High's eyes before he comes back. I know, but I'm not going to tell you guys. You guys know it better than me, right? But what shall I now do unto you? I am a widow and forsaken. Go your way, O children, ask mercy of Yahuwah. As for me, O Father, I call upon thee for a witness over the mother of these children, which would not keep my covenant, that thou bringest them to confusion. That's what happened to my people when we lost our homeland, when our identity was stripped from us, when we were called two nations instead of the nation that we really are, right? In the Bible, it says, thou shalt no more be two nations. African is one nation, American is another nation, equaling two nations. We are called two nations. We'll get that in the scriptures later, but we're going to get this first. We're going to see just what the Most High is saying here. Since people read their Bibles and they want to leave stuff out, I'm going to go into the laws books, and then I'm going to go into the Bible and show you exactly. It's written in there too. Obadiah chapter 1. Deuteronomy 28. Exodus. And as for me, O Father, I call upon thee for a witness over the mother of these children, which would not keep my covenant, that thou bring confusion to them, and their mother to a spoil, that there may be no offspring of them. Yeah, abortion clinics all over the place, right? Let them be scattered abroad among the heathen. Oh, let them be scattered abroad. Who was scattered abroad? The people that were taken out of bondage and he gave them commandments to. You might want to go read Deuteronomy 28 and see who did he put into bondage. Let them be scattered abroad among the heathen. Let their names be put out of the earth, for they have despised my covenant, right? They despised his laws. That's what the covenant is. Woe be unto thee, Assur, Thou that hidest the unrighteous in thee, O thou wicked people, remember what I did unto Sodom and Gomorrah, whose land lieth in clots of pitch and heaps of ash. Even so also will I do unto them that hear me not, saith Almighty Yahuwah. Thus saith Yahuwah unto Ezra, tell my people, that I will give them the kingdom of Jerusalem, which I would have given unto Israel. Their glory also will I take unto me, and give these the everlasting tabernacle, which I had prepared for them. That's those people, that's them in Israel right now. Look at what it says. They shall have the tree of life for an ointment of sweet savor, they shall neither labor nor be weary. Go, and ye shall receive. Pray for few days unto you, that they may be shortened. The kingdom is already prepared for you. Watch. Revelations 21. The kingdom is already prepared for who? The 12 tribes of Israel. The names written at the 12 gates. Take heaven and earth to witness, for I have broken the evil in pieces and created good, for I live, saith Yahuwah. Mother, embrace thy children and bring them up with gladness. Make their feet as fast as a pillar, for I have chosen thee. Well, who did he choose? Saith Yahuwah. And those that be dead will I raise up from their places and bring them out of the graves. There ain't no rapture. So if people want to keep pushing this fake rapture doctrine, you're going to get judged by that fake rapture doctrine. It's a deception. It's a lie. It's beguilement. For I have known my name in Israel, right? In the descendants of Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, when you keep that in context. Fear not, thou mother of the children, for I have chosen thee, saith Yahuwah. For thy help I send my servants Esai and Jeremiah, after whose counsel I have sanctified and prepared for the 12 trees laden with diverse fruits. 12 trees for the 12 tribes. And as many fountains flowing with milk and honey. What did he say to the Israelites? I'm going to take you to the land flowing with milk and honey in Exodus. And 7 mighty mountains, whereupon grow roses and lilies, whereby I will fill thy children with joy. Do right to the widow, judge for the fatherless, give to the poor, defend the orphan, clothe the naked, heal the broken and the weak, laugh not at the lame man to scorn, right? People call me lame. Lame means dumb, okay? But people laugh at me because I'm telling God's truth. Way to go, people. Way to go, so-called Christians that believe in the words of God. You've compromised your faith. Now let's test these spirits even further and keep going. Defend the maimed. Let the blind man come and see the sight of my clearness. Keep the old and young within thy walls. Whosoever findeth the dead, take them and bury them, and I will give. Whosoever findeth the dead, take them and bury them, and I will give thee the first place in my resurrection. It didn't say I'll give you the first place in my rapture. Abide still, O my people, take thy rest, for thy quietness shall come. Nourish thy children, O thou good nurse, establish their feet. As for the servants whom I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish, for I will require them from among thy number. Be not weary, For when the days of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance. The heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee, saith Yahuwah. Yeah, a lot of people envy me, but what are you going to do to me? God is my protector. I don't care about your thoughts. I don't care about what you think about me. His opinion matters. And you're not crushing my faith, but you're crushing yours because you're going up against the word of God. My hand shall cover thee so that thy children shall not see hell. Be joyful, O thou mother, with thy children, for I deliver thee, saith the Lord Yahuwah. Remember thy children that sleep, that are dead, for I shall bring them out of the sides of the earth, from their graves again. Once again, he keep mentioning resurrection, though man want to say rapture. And show mercy upon them, for I am merciful, saith Yahuwah. Embrace thy children until I come and show mercy unto them, for my wells run over and my grace will not fail. I, Ezra, received a charge from Yahuwah upon the Mount Oreb, that I should go unto Israel. But when I came unto them, they set me at naught and despised the covenant of Yahuwah, like they did in Deuteronomy 28. And therefore I say unto you, O ye heathen, that hear and understand, look for your shepherd. He shall give you everlasting rest, for he is nigh at hand, that shall come at the end of the world. Be ready to the reward of the kingdom, for the everlasting light shall shine upon you forevermore. Flee the shadow of this world. Receive the joyfulness of your glory. He said, flee the shadow of this world. That means flee all the things that are of this world and that are taught by this world. But many people ain't going to do that. They're going to stay stuck in believing in what man said. So your faith lies in man until you believe the scriptures, period. And I'm not talking about just one verse here and there. I'm talking about the whole chapter. If you don't have time to read the whole chapter, you don't have time for Yahuwah. He don't have time for you, period. Flee the shadow of this world. Flee the shadow of this world. Receive the joyfulness of your glory. I testify my Savior openly. Oh, receive the gift that was given to you, the promised land, and be glad, giving thanks unto him that have called you to the heavenly kingdom. Once again, Revelations 21. Rise up and stand. Behold the number of those that be sealed. Revelation 7, right? The 144,000, 12 from each tribe. Arise and stand, and behold the number of those that be sealed in the feast of Yahuwah, which are departed from the shadow of the world. I don't believe anything about this world unless it comes from the Bible. And have received the glorious garments of Yahuwah. Take thy number, O Sion, and shut up those that of thine that are clothed in white, which have fulfilled the law of the Lord. Wait. I thought Christ came and fulfilled the law for us. And it says, O Sion, shut up those of thine that are clothed in white. Remember the 144,000 and the multitudes that are all clothed in white, that wash their garments clean by the blood of the Lamb, which have fulfilled the law of the Lord. That's how they get their white robes. They fulfilled the law in their life. The number of thy children whom thou longest for is fulfilled. Beseech the power of Yahuwah, that thy people which have been called from the beginning may be hallowed. The children of Israel were the ones called from the beginning, once you understand what the beginning is. I, Esdras, saw upon Mount Sion a great people whom I could not number. And they all praised Yahuwah with songs. And in the midst of them there was a young man of high stature, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads were set crowns. But he was exalted, he was more exalted which I marveled at greatly. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are those, or what are these? He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing, the fleshly clothing, and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of Yahuwah. Now are they crowned and receive palms. And I said unto the angel, What young person is that crowneth them and giveth them palms in their hands? And he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of God, whom they confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood stiffly for the name of Yahuwah, or Yehoshua. Then the angel said unto me, Go thy way and tell my people what manner of things and how great wonders of the Most High thou hast seen. So I guess the Most High don't know who his chosen people is. He's just saying that he has a chosen nation, though there is no chosen nation. Now, let's go over here to the middle of chapter 5. Okay. Let's start here. Dealing with Jacob and Esau, right? We're going to find out about these two. They're in Genesis 25. They're in Genesis 25. So you might want to go read that if you want to understand who is who. And so I fasted 7 days, mourning and weeping, like as the Uriel, the angel, commanded me. See, back then they had no problems keeping commandments. It wasn't hard for them back then, so it shouldn't be hard for us. And after 7 days, so it was that the thoughts of my heart were very grievous unto me again, and my soul recovered the spirit of understanding, and I began to talk with the Most High again, and said, O Yahuwah, that bearest rule of every wood of the earth. Here we go. He says, of every wood of the earth. That means of all the woods of the earth, and of all the trees thereof. That means there are a lot of trees. There are oak trees, pine trees, and weeping willows. There's different kind of trees, right, on this earth. Look at what he says here. Thou hast chosen thee only one vine, and of all the lands of the whole world hast thou chosen one pit, and of all the flowers thereof one lily, and of all the depths of the sea thou hast filled thee one river, and of all the builded cities thou hast hallowed Zion to thyself, and of all the fowls that are created thou hast named thee one dove, and of all the cattle that are made thou hast provided thee one sheep. Now here is the part where people get it twisted. He said he has a chosen nation. I would keep that and understand it, okay, and find out who is these people that he chose. And among all the multitudes of people, are you listening? Thou hast gotten thee one people, and unto this people whom thou lovest, thou gavest a law that is approved of all. You see that? So it says here he chose a nation. It says he has a chosen people here. And now, O Yahuwah, thou hast given this people over unto many. Well, who did that happen to? Who was handed over to many on this earth? Because it's saying it in the past tense, right? That means it already happened. And upon the one root hast thou prepared others, And why hast thou scattered thy only one people among many? And where's those many people? In the United States, you got Asian, Mexican, white, or, whatever. You got different nations in this one nation of America, and we're dwelling among many nations. Okay? It's very simple once you understand who he's talking about, right? But a lot of people won't do this research. A lot of people won't do these readings. A lot of people won't look into these things because they seek not the truth, but they seek their own understanding. I don't. I read and it be made known. And they which did gainsay thy promises and believe not thy covenants have trodden them down. Like those that say, oh, all the laws are done away with. We can eat whatever we want. You trodden down his laws. You're trampling his laws under your feet. If thou didst so much hate thy people, yet shouldest thou punish them with thine own hands. Now when I had spoken these words, the angel that came to me the night before was sent unto me and said, hear me, and I will instruct thee. Listen to the thing that I say, and I shall tell thee more. And I said, speak on, my Lord. Then he said unto me, thou art sore trouble in mind for Israel's sake, or Jacob's sake, whose name was changed to Israel, Genesis 32. Thou lovest thou that people better than he made them. So he's saying, do you love his creation more than he do? And he said, no, Lord, but of grief have I spoken, for my reins pain me every hour, while I labor to comprehend the way of the Most High and to seek out part of his judgment. And he said unto me, thou canst not. And I said, wherefore, Lord? Whereunto was I born? Or why was not my mother's womb then my grave? That I might not have seen the travail of Jacob and the wearisome toil of the stock of Israel. And he said unto me, number me the things that are not yet come, gather me together the drops that are scattered abroad, make me the flowers green again that are withered, open me the places that are closed, and bring me forth the winds that in them are shut up. Show me the image of a voice, and then I will declare to thee the thing that thou bearest, that thou laborest to know. And I said, O Lord, that bearest rule, who may know these things, but he that hath not his dwelling with men, the Most High. As for me, I am unwise. How may I then speak of these things whereof thou askest me? So, all you so-called globe earthers, how about you go measure a weight of fire, or call back the day that has passed, or scatter the raindrops, since you know it all. And he said unto me, like as thou canst do none of these things that I have spoken, even so canst thou not find out my judgment, or the end of the love that I have promised unto my people. And I said, behold, O Lord, thou art, yet art thou nigh unto them that be reserved until the end. This is talking about the end days. Aren't we in the end days? Don't we have HR 1242? Don't we have HR 40? Don't we have AB 3121? No, but these things Yahuwah didn't speak. They're lies. He didn't speak them. He didn't say I have a chosen person, a chosen nation down here. He didn't say that. No, he didn't. These are just metaphors. These are just allegories. These are just spiritual meanings, I guess. And he said, Behold, O Lord, thou art thou nigh unto them that be reserved till the end. And what shall they do that have been before me? Or we that be now, or they that shall come after us? And he said unto me, I will liken my judgment unto a ring. Like as there is no slackness of the last, even so is there no swiftness of the first. So I answered and said, Couldst thou not make those that have been made and be now and they that are to come at once, that thou mayest show thy judgment the sooner? Then he answered me and said, Thy creature may not haste above the maker, neither may the world hold them at once that shall be created therein. And I said, As thou hast said unto thy servant, that thou which givest life unto all, hast given life at once to the creature that thou hast created, and and the creature bear it, even so it might now also bear them that now be present at once. And he said unto me, Ask the womb of a woman, and say unto her, If thou bringest forth children, why doest thou it not together, but one after another? Basically what he's saying here is, could a woman push 4 babies out of one womb at one time, all at once? No, she cannot. She can only deliver a baby in its own due time. See, he has to give parables about earthly things so that you can understand heavenly things. This is what you call a parable. Some things are parables, some things are literal, right? This is a parable. And he said unto me, Ask the womb of a woman, and say unto her, If thou bringest forth children, why doest thou it not together, but one after another? Pray her therefore to bring forth 10 children at once. And I said, She cannot, but must do it by distance of time. Then said he unto me, Even so have I given the womb of the earth to those that be sown in it in their times. For like as a young child may not bring forth the things that belong to the aged, so even have I disposed of the world. For like as a young child may not bring forth the things that belongs to the aged. Yeah, little children can't have babies. Basically, common sense tells you these things. This is a common sense book. Even so have I disposed the world which I've created. Remember, who created the world? And I asked and said, Seeing thou hast given me the way, I will proceed to speak before thee. For our mother, whom thou hast told me that is young, draweth now nigh unto age. He answered me and said, Ask a woman that beareth children, and she shall tell thee. Say unto her, Wherefore are not they whom thou hast brought forth like those that were before, but of less stature? And she shall answer thee, They that be born in the strength of youth are of one fashion, and they that are born in the time of age, when the womb faileth, that means the earth, are otherwise. Consider thou also, therefore also, how that ye are less of statute than those that were before you, and so that are they that come after you less than ye, as the creatures which now begin to be old and have passed over the strength of youth. Then said I, Lord, I beseech thee, if I have found favor in thy sight, show thy servant by whom thou visitest thy creature. Now let me go back here. Actually, I was supposed to read chapter 6. Sorry. Chapter 6, it deals with, again, who he's talking about. Jacob and Esau. Genesis 25. I would go read that so you can know who he's talking about. And he said unto me, in the beginning, when the earth was made, before the borders of the world stood, or ever the winds blew, before it thundereth or lightning, or ever the foundations of paradise were laid, before the fair flowers were seen, or ever the movable powers were established, before the innumerable multitudes of angels were gathered together. He's saying before he created all these things, he chose a nation, okay? Or over the heights of the air were lifted up, or ever the heights of the air were lifted up, before the measures of the firmament were named, or ever the chimneys of Sion were hot, and the present years were sought out, and are over the inventions of them that now sin were turned, before they were sealed that have gathered faith for a treasure, right? They gathered all the words for a treasure, right? Then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, and through none other. By me also they shall be ended, and by none other. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? Okay. And he said unto me, from Abraham to Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. That means the second heaven and the earth is going to be us at the beginning. Okay. So you might want to go find out who Esau was. You might want to go look into who Jacob was. Jacob was the father of the 12 tribes of Israel. Jacob's name was changed to Israel. Judah mourneth, the gates thereof languish, they are black unto the ground. I think that makes it very clear who his chosen people are, the descendants of Jacob, Judah, his son. The hand of a man is betwixt the heel and the hand. And other questions, Ezra, ask thou not. So basically he said, for the heel of a man, for the heel is the end of the man, and the hand is the beginning. Between the heel and the hand, Ezra, seek for nothing else. Don't ask nothing else but between the hand and the heel. Between the end and the beginning of that is to come. And I answered and said, O Yahuwah that bearest rule, if I have found favor in thy sight, I beseech you, show thy servant the end of thy tokens, whereof thou shouldest whereof thou showest me part of the last night. So he answered and said unto me, stand up upon thy feet and hear a mighty sounding voice, and it shall be as if it were a great motion, but the place where thou standest shall not be moved. And therefore when it speaketh, be not afraid, for the word is of the end of the world, and the foundation of the earth is understood. And why? Because the speech of these things trembleth and is moved, for it knoweth that the end of these things must be changed. And it happened that when I had heard it, I stood upon my feet and hearkened, that means listen, and behold, there was a voice that spake, and the sound of it was like the sound of many waters. Revelations 1. The description of the Messiah. And it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth. I will begin to make inquisitions of them, what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness. And when the affliction of Sion, of his chosen people, shall be fulfilled, which it already has, our 400 years are up since 2019. And when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be furnished, then will I show these tokens. The books shall be open before the firmament. That means when you look up in the sky, you're going to see his books open. Now, how's that going to happen in space? I don't think it's going to happen. God sits in his throne above the earth. Period. He sits upon the circle of the earth, not the ball. It's two different things. Then shall they see all together, and the children of a year old shall speak with their voices. The women with child shall bring forth untimely children of 3 or 4 months old. Okay, so these children are going to be 3 or 4 months, and they're going to pop out the womb. And they shall live and be raised up. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. That means the planted vineyards, they're just going to be empty, like it's happening now. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. We see that in America now, don't we? All the food is emptying off the shelves. So again, you can't take part and say, oh, I want to take this, but I'm going to leave this out because I don't agree with it. You're playing games with your salvation. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. At that time shall friend fight against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountains shall stand still. Oh, but if we're spinning on the ball earth, the waves and stuff, the earth rotation causes the waves, right? And in 3 hours they shall not run. So that means you're going to see creeks going down mountains that stand still. The water's not going to be running. Okay, that means what it means. Whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation and the end of my world and the end of your world. And the man that is received shall see it, who have not tasted death from their births, and the heart of the inhabitants shall be changed. Right? Remember when it says, in the twinkling of an eye, ye shall be changed. Well, this is the clarification of that. Here it is. And the heart of the inhabitants shall be changed and turned into another meaning. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome. The truth, which hath been so long without fruit, shall be declared. So the truth has been without fruit. Why has the truth been without fruit? Because people keep leaving stuff out of the Bible. People don't want to talk about certain things. I'm going to talk about it. So he told him to come again, and he mentions Enoch. Then didst thou ordain 2 living creatures, the one thou callest Enoch, and the other Leviathan, and didst separate the one from the other. For the 7th part, namely whereunto the water was gathered together, might not hold them both. So this is talk about the separation of the waters and stuff. So I just want to stop there. I want to point out specific parts in these lost books. And you could go read Obadiah. You go read Deuteronomy. You go read Genesis 25, Genesis 15, Jeremiah 49 and 50. As a matter of fact, let's get into Jeremiah 49 right now. Talks about, before the destruction of America, since people think that, I'm just blowing smoke, that I don't believe what I'm reading in my Bible, that, it's just all allegories, metaphors, and all this stuff, that you're never going to understand. That's why Daniel 12 says, the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. Jeremiah 6:65. Because, see, now I want everybody to eat their words that came with these attacks. I want you to eat them. I want you to chew them like tough steak. Let's go into Jeremiah 49, since this don't be talked about. Everybody want to talk about everything else, but you don't want to talk about this stuff, huh? I'm going to talk about it. Jeremiah 49. Against the Ammonites in their cities. Concerning the Ammonites, thus saith the Lord, hath Israel no sons? Hath he no heir? Let's just change the name to the original name that was used before the name was changed to Israel. Hath Jacob no sons? Hath he no heir? Why then doeth their king inherit Gad, and his people dwell in his people dwell in his cities? Therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahuwah, that I will cause an alarm of war to be heard in Rabbah of the Ammonites, and it shall be a desolate heap. Her daughters shall be burned with fire. Then shall Israel be heirs unto them that were his heirs, saith Yahuwah. How, O Heshbon of Ai, is spoiled, for Ai is spoiled. Cry, ye daughters of Rabbah, or whatever. Gird you with sackcloth. Lament and run to and fro by the hedges. For their king shall go into captivity, and his priests and his princes together. Wherefore glorious thou in the valleys, thy flowing valley, O backsliding daughter, that trusted in her treasure, saying, who shall come unto me? Behold, I will bring fear upon thee, saith Yahuwah. For from all those that be about thee, ye shall be driven out, every man right forth, and none shall gather up him that wandereth. And afterwards I will bring again the captivity of the children of Ammon, saith Yahuwah. Look at this. Against Edom, Obadiah 1-5. Concerning Edom, who is Edom? You better go and find these things out. Thus saith Yahuwah, is wisdom no more than Teman? Is counsel prayers from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him. If grape gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some gleaning grapes? If these by night will destroy till they have enough, but I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places. And he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled. His brethren, and his neighbor, and he is not. Leaving thy fatherless children, I will preserve them alive, and let thy widows trust in me. For thus saith Yahuwah, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken. So some people wasn't supposed to be drinking of this cup, right? And art thou that he shall altogether make unpunished? And art thou that he shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. And they're drinking, right? You guys are drinking. For I have sworn by myself, saith Yahuwah, that Bozrah shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual wastes. I have heard a rumor from Yahuwah, and an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, Gather ye together and come against her, and rise up to the battle. For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men. He's talking to the children of Israel. We are despised. We've been despised since slavery and since the time we came out of bondage of Egypt. We've been despised. You can go look that up in history. It's there. Thy terribleness have deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks. You better go look at who dwells in the clefts of the rocks. That holdest the height of the hill, thou that shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle. America has the eagle as their, on their coin. Look, let me show you how they got the eagle on the quarter. This is how you tell who is who. I don't even have a quarter anymore. But all you got to do is look at the quarter, and you'll see the eagle. Look at the back of the dollar bill. You'll see the eagle or the phoenix, right? Unless you're calling Yahuwah a madman. He don't know what he's talking about. Also, Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. As in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah, and the neighboring cities thereof, saith Yahuwah, no man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. Behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of Jordan against the inhabitants of the strong, and I will suddenly make him run away from her, who is a chosen man, that I may appoint over her. For who is like me, and who will appoint me the time? And who is that shepherd that will stand before me? So he's asking, who is the shepherd that's going to stand before me? Who's going to be telling all these truths? Who's the one that's going to have the balls to speak out against certain things that might, offend many? Because this Bible here is offensive, and you're starting to see how. Therefore, hear the counsel of Yahuwah that he hath against Edom, and his purposes that he hath proposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Suddenly, the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. The earth is moved at the noise of their fall. At the cry of the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea. And behold, it shall come up and fly as the eagle, and spread his wings over Bozrah. And at that day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of a woman in her pangs. And this is against Damascus. This is against Kedar. Right? This is against Kedar. This is against Elam. So just because I know people ain't going to go into Genesis 25 to find out who was Esau and who was Jacob, I'm going to read it for you. Because, see, people are showing me that they don't care about the truth that's written in the Bible, right? I read this whole Bible. This is how I know where everything is. I read it from cover to cover, right? And I kept every word. I ain't left nothing out. Okay, this is Esau, right? Sale of the birthright. Here we go. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. The first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. After that came his brother out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when they bare them. There you go. Now you know what Esau looks like. Go do the research. Shalom.